fragrance teach a while ago. About 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, I was about 40 or 50 pounds heavier than I am right now. I wasn't just heavier, I was unhealthy. I was always sick with a cold or the flu, and I actually got Bell's palsy twice in 1 year on either side of my face. I don't know if anybody knows what that is. It's a virus that attacks your face, and it literally goes paralyzed on that side. And then about 9 months later, I got it on the other side. And it was after that second bout, and like I said, I was pretty heavy. I was really unhealthy. I was incredibly depressed that I decided to turn that around, kind of baby steps. Started with little things. For me, it was donuts and Coca-Cola. I still even today have an issue with sugar. I mean, I crave sugar all the time. And at one point, I decided that tracking what I'm doing, tracking not just what I'm eating, but tracking my lifestyle, because it's really about getting healthy. Is really about lifestyle choices, not diets and temporary fads. And so I decided I wanted to be able to track these things. And I was at the Mobile March last spring, and this guy made this comment. He said, "Voice communication is obsolete. It's inefficient and obsolete." And I remember just being really taken back by this. Just thinking, boy, this is a pretty bold statement. And I started thinking about my teenage kids. They do not talk on the phone. They text. I took the cell phone away from my son. He got in some trouble. I said, "You got the landline? Call your friend." Dad, he just looked at me like I was just stupid. He goes, "We don't do that. No one's going to call me back. No one does that." And so I thought, this guy's right. And I started thinking about how my wife and I communicate. When she wants me to pick something up at the store, she shoots me a text message. And yeah, granted, a text app is an app. But it's not an app that I downloaded. It almost feels like it's really a part of the phone. And Brett, you gave a great presentation quite a while back talking about some podcasts. We talked about some artificial intelligence applications. It really got me thinking about how to use text messaging and to try to create sort of a feeling of tracking, like it's your spouse or a friend or your coach or your mentor saying, "Hey, what did you have for breakfast? What did you have for lunch? How much did you work out today?" And you just reply. It keeps track of all this data. And so I came up with uGitFit. uGitFit is the name of this product. It has many features. The health tracking features is one particular aspect of uGitFit. And the way it starts off is you simply send a simple track me message to my uGitFit number. I use Twilio for a number of things and around this regard, and so I called this in my phone. It's Twilio tracking. I should have called it uGitFit. So you simply send a track me request, and a moment later, you're going to get a response back. "Thank you for trying out uGitFit." And it tells you what's going to happen and where you can go. It also gives you a registration code when you do go to the website. And then the next morning, you're going to get a message. "Good morning, Mike. What did you have for breakfast?" And it will actually spell breakfast properly now. And so you reply, I had a Greek omelet with hash browns and whatever you have for breakfast. Now, what you're allowed to do is enter in what I call short codes. So you see there's a $ with a colon. So I've tagged that as here's how much I spent on this week. You can also put an E colon. And what follows after that is here's what I've exercised. It's an E colon, ran 2 miles, did P90X, whatever. You can keep track of sugar, you can keep track of calories, you can keep track of all of these things with these short codes. I demoed this to a guy in my office, and his face just lit up. He goes, "Can I keep track of vegetable servings?" This guy's an insane runner, and he's convinced that you can extrapolate a person's fitness based on the amount of vegetables they eat. So he wanted to track. So then I came up with the idea of you can go and define your own short codes. So you can say, well, X semicolon means number of jumping jacks, whatever you want. And then after you reply to this, it responds back and says your data is saved. So it's very, very simple. The actual tracking part. I don't have to launch an application. I don't have to scroll. I don't have to swipe a bunch of stuff and select a bunch of drop downs. It's very quick. It's dirty. I get to it when I want to. So that is the phone aspect. Now this introduced some kind of unique attributes in that I had a situation where I said, well, I've got people that have come to been using my application. They've been entering all this data, but I don't know who they are. I don't have their name, their address, or anything. I just got a phone number. And so I developed this site. Now, one of the cool features of this is put in this. You can put in this query string, and it'll stage all my data. So I've got what I call a pre-registered user here. So here's a guy who's been sending in his data, and now he wants to come and register. So I've been tracking this guy for a long time. I've got a bunch of his data. So he comes in to register for the site. He submits his data, and we come up and say, hey, we've been expecting you. And we've been tracking you since September 25th. We've got 18 tracking responses. And go ahead and enter your registration code. So here he's saying, well, I can't remember my code. I can't find it on my phone. I don't have my phone with me. So go ahead and send it to me. Well, this is a made-up phone number, this 858 phone number that you see right here. So I don't want to actually send a text message. So for my test, I had this Hotmail account set up where here's what the actual text message will look like. So I can go in here, take this registration code, and I can register, and I submit that code, and it takes me to my history. So look, there's my history. And for breakfast, I had an Arby's roast beef on 9/12, and for lunch, I had some almonds with cashews, and for dinner, I had McDonald's cookies. Oh, there's my sugar problem. And it talks about, oh, I weigh 250 pounds, and here's some of those attributes that I've been working on. That I've been storing and tracking, and here's what I exercised that day. So a lot going on. So there's more to this application and more to this, but I'd love for people who would like to help me beta test this. If there's anybody who has any interest in helping me beta test this, if you want to see me sometime, either today or another Toastmasters meeting. Thank you for your attention. Appreciate it.